Hello. Today's reading is Saturday at the New You. Saturday is my favorite day of the week. Saturday is when I help Mama in her beauty parlor across the street from our apartment. It's called the New You. On Saturdays, Daddy walks us to the New You and helps us lift the metal gate. Then he kisses me and Mama goodbye and goes to work downtown. Saturday is a day for me and Mama. As soon as we unlock the door and walk inside the New You, Mama turns on the lights. The pink hair dryers look so shiny you almost have to squint. The New You has pictures on the wall with lots of different hairstyles. Long hair, short hair, natural hair, straight hair, curly hair. Mama says all hair is beautiful. While Mama hangs up her coat, I jump in a chair and spin around and around and make funny faces in the mirror until I get dizzy. Shauna, I see you making those silly faces, Mama yells. One day you're going to make a face and it'll stick. Oh, Mama, I've made funny faces a million times. Mama turns on the music after the lights. She says she works better to music, and the New You is always full of rhythm. As Mama stacks the clean towels near the sink, I hold a brush in my hand like a microphone and pretend I'm a famous singer. I sit up my dolls, Stacy and Kenya, and up on the counter so they can see my performance. Even though Mama says that I make too much noise in the morning, I can usually hear her humming to the music too. Before I'm done with my first song, Mama calls me in the back room so I can put on my smock. Mama made us special smocks with flowers. Mine says Shauna in red, fancy letters. We make coffee for the customers who come early. I get to arrange the packets of sugar while Mama measures the coffee. The New You smells so good on Saturday mornings, like sweet peach shampoo and strawberry conditioner and fresh coffee. You know how I love my coffee. Today, Mama's first customer won't be having coffee though. Her name is Tiffany Peters. Tiffany lives in my building and she just turned 5. She always has her thumb in her mouth and a scowl on her face. She never likes anything, not even the candy Mama offers or the magazines I show her or the hairstyle Mama gives her. Shauna, please hand me the brush and the towel over there, Mama says, pointing to the counter closet closest to me. Little Tiffany has to pop her thumb out of her mouth when Mama puts the smock over her head. I watch Mama brush out Tiffany's curly hair until it's as fluffy as a cloud. I can do that, I tell Mama as I watch her rub conditioner through Tiffany's hair after she's washed it. Mama uses the same conditioner on me, and it makes my hair soft and shiny. It smells nice too. My favorite is the one that smells like coconuts. Mama's humming along with the music, and I don't think she hears me, so I tell her, I can do that. Maybe you can, Mama smiles, but Tiffany is my customer. Yeah, says Tiffany, as she takes her thumb out of her mouth long enough to stick her tongue out at me. She can sure act like a baby. While Tiffany and Mrs. Peters let the conditioner sit, Mama starts helping her other customers. Pretty soon, the New You is crowded with people getting their hair washed and dried, cut and styled, combed and brushed. One of my favorite jobs is to bring customers magazines while they wait for Mama. Sometimes their friends pass on by the street and wave or come inside to visit. I watch Mama press Mrs. Escobar's hair with a hot comb and curl it with a long curling iron. Miss Escobar is one of Mama's regular customers, and she's a teacher at my school. When Mama's done curling, she combs and twists and pins Miss Escobar's red hair on top of her head. I'm thinking about fixing Stacy's hair the very same way when Miss Escobar catches me staring at her. Well, she asks, smiling. I smile back. I've never seen her yell at any of the kids at school, even the hard-headed ones. What do you think? Gorgeous, I tell her, pretending she's my customer. It's a New You, I say, just like Mama. I hope to get in to be in Miss Escobar's class when I start the 3rd grade. Mrs. Johnson walks in carrying a box from her bakery down the block. I love her jelly donuts and sweet chocolate chip cookies and sweet potato pies. Her shop is always busy, just like Mama's. After Mama puts rollers in Miss Johnson's hair, it's time to sit under the dryer. I hate sitting under the dryer. It's hot and noisy, and you can't move. It's so boring. But Mrs. Johnson doesn't think so. I look forward to my Saturdays under the dryer, she tells me. It's the only time I can take a nap without being disturbed. When Mrs. Johnson takes a nap under the dryer, all you can see is her wide open mouth. She snores real loud, but you can't hear her snoring when the dryer's on. After the dryer turns off, Mama takes the rulers out of Mrs. Johnson's hair. I wish I could style Mrs. Johnson's hair, but all I do is put the rulers in a tray. Mama rinses Tiffany's hair and dries it with a towel. She hums as she runs her fingers through Tiffany's coconutty curls. Tiffany, how would you like a new hairstyle? Mama asked. But instead of answering, Tiffany takes her thumb out of her mouth and lets her loudest screech I've ever heard and hides under her smock. Mama just smiles and hums. Sometimes I think she's too nice to that bratty little thumb-sucking Tiffany. I sit down with Kenya and Stacy. Their hair looks a mess. I take my afro comb and work on Stacy's hair until it's nice and full. I give her barrettes to match her dress. I think Kenya's hair looks good in braids, like mine. I brush and braid in sections at a time until she has almost as many braids as I do. I like it when Mama puts beads in my braids, but we don't have beads small enough for Kenya, so I put rubber bands at the tips of the braids to keep them from coming loose. I walk over to Mama to show her what I've done. These are my customers, I say. Mama feels Kenya's braids. I made them nice and tight. Very good, Shauna, she says. What beautiful braids. Hey, Tiffany yells from her hiding place under the big smock. I want braids too. She tries to uncover herself, but she's so small she just gets more tangled. Her mother helps her after a minute. Her little head pops out from the smock. Mama trims Tiffany's hair and braids it so it looks a lot like Kenya's and mine. I sit on the counter in front of Tiffany and let her play with Stacy and Kenya. We eat some more of Mrs. Johnson's donuts and drink some juice while Mama finishes braiding. When Mama's done, I hop off the counter so Tiffany can see herself in the mirror. I look like a movie star, she cries. I hand her a mirror and show her how she can spin in her chair and see how her braids look in the back, just like Mama does with her customers. It's a new you, I say. Thank you, Shauna, Mama and Mrs. Peters say at the same time. By the time we're ready to close, Mama and I are exhausted from being on our feet all day, but Mama still sits me down in front of the mirror and fixes my braids and gives me a new clip to wear to Grandma and Granddaddy's house on Sunday. You're my favorite customer, Mama says, and my favorite helper. Mama sits down by the window and starts to brush her own hair. I can do that, I tell her, while I brush. Mama closes her eyes and hums along to the radio. The end.